welcome back to another episode of Inoculant Gaming. We're trying to just water our farm real quick, but then we had some very interesting and exciting things happen. Mainly
Yeah,
explosions on both farms at pretty much the same time, or real close to the same time.
I know. I hear your gameplay. I need to turn you down. And I keep thinking it's me.
Right?
There. Although, I don't know if that turns you down for you, too.
I have no idea. It doesn't matter if it does or not. I'm okay with it.
I'm going to leave it where it was. I hear you, and it's not a big deal.
So, I've gotten some corn seeds planted, even though we kind of went back into spring because weird things happened. We've been off of Stardew for a little bit, so it's been a little bit weird.
Stardew?
Or Minecraft Stardew.
Close.
Anyway. Yeah.
Will I faint?
Most
Must
likely.
Eat berries.
Yeah. I'm still... The berry part of things in this game still confuse the heck out of me.
So I discovered if I just eat 3 of every berry, it cycles through everything. And then I can just eat a berry bowl if I need more.
Yeah, I've eaten twice of the chicken. What about the birds? How are you, birds? Eaten once? Okay, I'll eat you one more time. Alright, what about pork chop? Yeah, eaten twice out of the last 10. Alright, it's time for an apple then. Apple is good. Let's do another apple. Now I can be okay.
Okay. It's my farm. Okay, it's watered finally. So, hopefully, we can wait till these seeds, at least my turnips, if we could wait for those before we switch the season.
Well,
That
how
would be
much longer until the season?
like 100 days.
Oh, so we still have a decent amount. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I said I would want to just make sure we're switching seasons on stream since it's a whole different thing.
Alright, well, I'm getting
I got
my
a
money.
bike. That's cool. Oh,
Wow.
no one's seen my farm. I forgot about that. This is my
Pretty
farm.
much.
I'm off in the middle of nowhere. I found a valley and decided to call it Psycho Valley. I am 1,000 blocks away from Casey. There's all my berries. There's all my farm. There is my sugar farm. That's my tree farm there. I put a cap on it so they don't get stupid tall. All I have... Oh, I have one more building than Casey. I have the general store and the chicken coop. Mainly because I wanted to be able to buy stuff for my aviary.
He stole all my eggs.
I did steal all his eggs. See, here's my aviary.
So 5 flowers gets more seeds, huh?
Or you can just buy them. I'm pretty sure there's a bird that keeps knocking down torches. It drives me crazy. Let me feed the chicken. Love me. Give me eggs. Alright. Woodpecker and duck, huh? Nope. Nope. Owl. Nope. Is that it? Is that all she wrote? Alright.
I wonder if... I'm actually very tempted to try to build this, the sugarcane automatic farm thing.
Right. We gotta see if it even has that thing.
If it has a piston?
No, it's like a detector?
The observer?
Is it the observer?
It does not have an observer.
See, it's a considerably early version of Minecraft before that was invented. But there might be a modded item that does something similar. I'd have to look into it.
Ugh,
Is that you I hear, zombies?
probably.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna say oh, right, because under your farm's dark. Okay, the sun is setting.
I was under my
All
farm dark.
all my stuff is watered. All right, are you close to ready? I'm just gonna harvest some berries before we go to bed.
Ooh, I should do that as well. Okay.
That way I can sell them.
I'm starting to plant torches around everywhere.
Yeah, I need to do the same. Despite being Minecraft, I haven't done a whole lot of mining yet. I haven't had a decent amount of coal, but I used most of it to make stone, because you need stone for everything.
Alright, let me go to the berry farm. The very weird and bizarre berry farm.
Why is it weird and bizarre?
Ooh, blackberries finally did something.
Oh, okay. All right, it is dark out. I'm heading to my house.
I'm not far,
Why can't
don't
I
worry.
run? Am I still 50? I'm still blind? What? All right, I'm turning things into my thing now.
Blackberry's a new one.
Do I want to sell my potatoes? Oh, what was that?
I started to sleep, but then I got up before it actually happened.
Oh, okay.
Because you didn't want to sleep yet, right?
It's still processing all of my fruit. Because you do remember you get money if you sell the extras. Although you're probably not at the point where you have like extras to sell.
I don't have extra food to sell at this point.
All right, I'm good. You ready?
Yep. And go.
Do it. I already started.
There we go.
Rise and shine. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, that's weird. That's nope. I don't know. Ooh, cooked chicken is new. Yay! Cooked chicken is now new.
Ooh, Casey. This might be the last of my turnips. Meaning we could probably go ahead and change the seasons. I'll miss... This is at least enough of my turnips that we could change the season.
How many are going to be left?
I mean, I could wait for one more harvest of my... What are these? Cucumbers? Cucumbers? Because they only take 5 days between harvests, I think. And then I have like a handful of potatoes that didn't fully ripen. Do you have any spring farms that you're waiting on?
No.
Okay.
I have 0 of those.
I say we'll go ahead and advance the season then.
Okay.
I think I might as well just do that now. Does it change the day? It doesn't.
Oh, that means we're late summer. That's bad.
Let me think what I can do.
Let's go back to spring and just try to, like, go through the days quickly or something.
No, I should be able to change the day. One of 20. I'm not doing that in game. Alright. Okay.
I gotta remember to not run. Because right now, like...
I know.
I don't have enough food to, like, run and have that be okay. Wait. Okay, there are some over here. I was like, what happened to the blueberry bush that was over there? But it's still there.
Not Stardew Valley. I want Harvest Valley.
You're still blind?
I am. Yeah, I might just need to like disconnect or reconnect. I think that's just a glitch.
Nom nom nom.
Okay.
Do 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 do. See, I feel like I already have my own aviary. It's just out in the wild.
Everything's in the wild with your city.
Yeah. I'm doing it like the elves would have.
Oh, I need Farming Valley. Looked up. I looked up the wrong thing.
Alright, I'll save the pork chop for later. Looks like there was a small person that got added. Alright, so I got enough space now for another. Yeah, another seed.
Should
Alright,
name
I'm
this
here.
character after you, Casey.
What?
Should name this character after you.
Why should you name this character after me?
I have a level 10 paladin with an AC of 27.
Haha! Nice.
I'm fighting the main bad guys, and they need to roll on that 20 to hit this character. So even if everyone else falls, I'll eventually just win.
Right?
Actually, a little bit ridiculous.
That's still one of my saved characters in D&D. Because
Me too.
I enjoyed that character so much.
I think I'm gonna give him Ian one day so we can use him as a villain.
Alright. What time is it?
It is 12:57, 58,
Something.
59.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thursday.
That's not good.
I have a bunch of these already, right? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and sell those. Ooh, actually, I should be able to buy some seeds.
So many nests.
She's open on Thursdays, isn't she? Where's she at? Oh yeah, she's open. Okay. Onions, tomatoes, corn.
Why isn't it letting me buy stuff from her?
You have to go to the general store and actually buy it now, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think it's only until the general store is built that you can go to her.
It's only between 1 and 1,400?
That's just him.
Oh.
It's the lady who lives downstairs.
There's a lady that lives downstairs?
Yeah. So yeah. Ooh, what is this?
Wow, wheat takes forever. And some of them require sickle.
You should have a sickle.
I do. What does salt do? Something
No,
I can eat?
eventually there's like a whole cooking mod.
Is there a watering system yet?
Eventually? Here it is. Best crops.
I did tomatoes.
I'm just trying to look it up. We'll see.
Come on, tomatoes.
Alright, I can look it up somewhere. It says corn and tomatoes. Corn is the most profitable.
That's what I did first.
I'll probably just grow both. Does it... Oh, okay, there it is. So... divide what I have by... I don't know. Okay. That'll have to do.
Alright, do I have any more? Do I have any dirt in here? Just chilling.
I don't know. I have dirt, I think.
I do not. Wait, maybe I do.
I do need to fix my hole. Stupid creepers.
That's what I'm
I
doing.
I did lower the difficulty because I realized that there's not really a... For whatever reason, the mobs are extra difficult. They're
I've
modded
noticed
somehow.
that.
And there's not really like extra ways to make us tougher, like in most of the other mods. I might need to go on a... I'm just gonna do it now. Alright. Berry run.
Alright, I have no idea how far along my corn is. But, hey, my blackberries are starting to actually produce now.
Good.
Took forever, but it's working. It's working.
So Star Wars quote?
I don't remember what kind of quote it is. It could be.
Okay.
It could be an Anakin's quote.
Yeah. From episode 1.
Right.
What was the quote?
It's
working.
working.
Oh, yep.
Alright.
Uh-oh, my hoe's about to go down. Can I
Your
heal
what?
my hoe?
No, but you can make a stone one, and the lady who gave you the seeds for flowers, she will, hold it in your hand and right-click her with it, and she'll give you another one. Eventually, we'll have the blacksmith, and he'll be able to upgrade it and fix them. But for now, that's our option.
Couldn't I just use a metal one or a stone one anyway?
No, I don't think so.
I don't
Alright.
think that's correct.
Okay.
Oh, holy cow!
What happened?
I don't think
I got
he's
a
doing
crit
anything
with
now.
poisoned arrow and sneak attack, so I just did 60 points of damage in a single attack.
Nice.
I gotta break all of my cucumber plants.
Did you see a Larry in there?
No.
What about a hairbrush?
I'm thinking maybe I made this farm too big, because it really just takes too much time and stamina. Might just do 2 lines, one of tomatoes, one of corn, and call it good.
See, I do sets of 3.
There we
Or
go.
are you doing 2 whole lines of the 3?
So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4,
So
5,
4, 5, 6.
6, 7, 8. 8 of each.
That's probably pretty close to what I have. Although I think I have more corn and less tomatoes.
I don't actually have enough money for that many so far, but I'm going to plan ahead since they regrow.
Do they actually regrow in this one?
Tomatoes and corn do.
Oh! Look at that. I did that by accident, but it works. Ooh, I can harvest some sugar cane.
Oh yeah, my sugarcane's ready too. Well, I guess I should get to it if I want to buy more seeds. So does your farm just like circle your house?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay,
Why?
I was just curious.
That's the easiest way to make it work.
Okay.
Wait, why? What? I feel like you're getting at something.
Nothing. I'm just making fun of the layout of your town.
Listen, I'm
Or-
trying not
or
to
lack
destroy
thereof.
nature.
Nature schmeetzer. As I start picking my wall of berries. I don't know. Do they naturally grow this tall, or do I need to like make it so they can probably do what you did?
I don't think they
I don't think
naturally
they
grow that tall.
I don't think they do either. Let me go ahead and move these top ones so that I can get more. Dang it, every time. These shears, like, insta-break everything they touch.
Sounds about right. Alright. I got a full stack of sugar cane. And then some.
All
Look
right.
at that.
Let's see how far that gets me.
I do find it entertaining that there are still octopus in the water.
Squid?
Or squid, that's what I meant.
Dang it. I might have to do. Yeah, these yellow berries are my ones that grow the slowest. I think it's just because they're the farthest from my house.
No, the blackberry are the closest to my house, and they grow the slowest for me.
Oh, well. My blackberries aren't exactly growing super fast. Alright. I'm going to start putting stuff in my box. Manually click things in. Oh yeah, that's way faster. Alright, there we go. Let me make sure this is going to keep going after I'm done. See, now it's loading twice as fast.
Oh, you don't have a hopper above yours?
Oh, I do.
Oh,
But this
okay.
is faster. Because I have sugarcane going through the hopper.
Oh, you actually... Wait, how do you have sugarcane going through the hopper?
Oh, you can sell sugarcane.
No, I know, but I'm just... Oh, you actually put sugarcane in the hopper at this point. Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
Ready?
I'm ready. The double rooster every time.
See, I only heard the one, so...
Do you not hear my game volume?
I must not.
Okay. Well, that was quick.
Are you blacking out already?
No, I'm already done watering, but I don't think she opens until... Ooh, is she even open today? Thursday through Friday. She is not open today. So I can't even buy more seeds. Actually, I can't buy seeds until Monday.
Like real life Monday or
Game Monday.
okay.
Alright. What can I be working on today? Since I don't have much of a farm. Oh, my chicken! Go away, dog. Ooh, those turnips gave me some good money. Alright, chicken, come here. Love mate. Okay. Ooh, I need to buy some fodder.
Some fodder. What?
For my chicken. I have one Farming Valley chicken. That's what I could be doing. I need to build an official barn for all of my animals.
That would probably do it. The corn's starting to grow up taller.
Yeah? There was an egg. Oh well. Well, that does mean that changing the season didn't affect its growth. It just needed to be the correct season to advance.
Right.
So you realize when I changed the season back to spring, it was already fall. So like your tomatoes and corn were already like useless.
That it was not fall when I planted them.
Okay. All right. Let me pick some berries. Who's got the spider?
I
You.
do.
Okay. Creepy sounds. Don't worry about moving those right now. Oh, fine. Whatever.
Yay, the music's back.
Right? Okay. Okay, apparently I'm hungry. To blueberries. I should just keep bowls on me.
That would probably be the better decision.
Because I can make them. I can make those bowls in my thing without having a crafting table.
Nice.
I think I have a pile of bowls in my chest. I do. Look at that.
That would be my assumption.
I do. I can do it more efficiently by waiting. Okay, these berries are a trap because by the time you get to the other side is ready to harvest. So I could effectively harvest berries all day.
Lucky. Yeah, I can't yet. My
You can come
berries
over here
are
and
not.
harvest my berries. I shared with you the waypoint, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I need to decide where this barn is going.
On the ground.
So there is like 10 other buildings to build. So my
Okay.
hobbit hole is over here.
Looks like your valley's not as much of a valley anymore.
What are these? Okay. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 buildings total. I already have 3 built. I know I want my goddess fountain to go there. The mining hut will probably go in this corner over here. What is that? Oh, it's eyeballs on the butt of a horse. Do you see? Hold on,
What
I
are you
gotta go
talking
and
about?
I'm getting closer look. Saw that from a distance.
Why is there eyes on the back of the horse?
There's just randomly googly eyes everywhere.
I'm very
Weird.
confused.
Oh,
That should
there's
never
your
be a
thumbnail
thing.
right now.
That
Alright.
should never be a thing, you said?
Yep.
I agree with that sentiment.
But
I
could you imagine
suppose
just
I could just
walking
build the
outside
barn
and being there?
here.
Looks like a wide open space to me. Trevor, what were you
And
saying?
then all my buildings will just go around. I don't know what he
Could you
said.
imagine just walking outside and just seeing random freaking
Googly eyes.
yeah.
I mean,
I'll make
I
some berry
can sort of
bowls.
imagine it.
Alright, I don't really need that many blueberries. Raspberries and mallowberries is what I'm short on. Okay. Well, I guess I could use a couple of eggshells. Whatever. Wait, do I have some mallow berries? I have some mallow berries. Okay. Of course not. Oh, what am I missing?
Did you see the
Raspberries?
trailer for Real Time?
I did.
Did you like it?
Um,
I know there's some changes they're doing, but
yeah,
I'm super
no, I
excited.
liked it.
I liked it. I was like, oh yeah, this is exactly what we need.
One of the thoughts I had was we could do like a watch party on Discord or something.
I would do that, except I'm pretty sure my wife's gonna watch it with me, and I'm pretty sure she'll get annoyed.
Fair.
But
I assume my wife would watch it with me too, although pretty sure that I don't know, we'll see. I'm assuming I'm gonna end up watching each episode more than once.
probably, I'll tell you what, we could stream like reaction to it. I'd do that. I'd have no problem putting it up on TV and then just talking about it in on a stream. We can make our own YouTube channel. Screw everybody
Like
else.
like an after each show talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, they're releasing 3 episodes to start out with.
Yeah, I know. So we'll have to watch. We'll probably binge watch 3 episodes, and then we'll watch the 3 episodes together.
Yeah, we'll see how busy my life is, but that is 3 hours of TV.
Yeah. It might be a
watch
little
all at
more. I think they're between 45 minutes and an hour and 15, something like that.
Okay.
On the
I just remember
stream,
reading that
or
they
we don't have to
average
watch
an hour.
all 3 at one time. We can watch like 1, and then the next day we'll watch 2 or something like that.
So I was reading the comments on YouTube, and apparently that first scene they start with is from like a forward he wrote later, but every version of the book I read didn't have it. Where Nynaeve pushes.
They didn't. I think it was just well.
Fans.
So I watched this guy named Nameless on YouTube. Love his channel. He's actually really
I've
good.
heard of him.
He thinks the trailer partly was to, because not everybody's read the books, right? So they don't. He doesn't want everyone to know. Rafe doesn't want everyone to know who the Dragon Reborn is right away.
That's
So
true.
they're showcasing the other characters instead of it being from Rand's point of view, to try to keep it mysterious to people who don't know. Because like when you read the books, the very first page, you're like, "This is the Dragon Reborn," because
Yeah.
he's the very first thing you read. You know what I mean? Like not a surprise.
Yeah.
There was no like, "Oh, holy cow, I didn't see that coming." So
I mean, yes, but then they do these things where it's like, is he really?
he was though. You knew the whole time. Like there's
Yeah.
never once where I was in doubt.
Yeah.
Especially considering first book, Perrin learns how to talk to wolves. So you're like, "Oh, not him. He's got something else going on."
Yeah.
And then Matt gets
Right.
the dagger, so you're like, "Not him. He's got something else going on." And obviously not a female because the Dragon Reborn's male.
Right.
So
He has to be able to wield the one power.
I love the fact they kept Vagina Island in. That's
They
what
kept what?
The island in. The shape of the island for the White Tower.
Oh, yeah.
I chuckled to myself. I'm like, they did it.
He doesn't ever straight up say it's a vagina, but he definitely goes into great
I
detail
stopped saying that word
describing
because
the
we're
shape.
streaming still, don't forget.
It's not a dirty word.
No, but it might be flagged in Twitch still. I don't know what Twitch's rules are.
It's not gonna.
Technically, it's the word you're supposed to teach children to use, because other stuff gets
Yeah.
thrown out in court. It's inadmissible.
What do you want to say? Hoo-ha? I don't know. What are
literally-
children's words for that? I don't know.
Hoo-ha, but it's not. You're not allowed to. You're literally not allowed. There was a case a long time ago where this lady said that this girl said that her uncle touched her in her garage, and the court threw the case out
What?
because the parents didn't teach them the proper terms and stuff. Yeah, because if you don't use proper terms, I was reading an article about, it's an old article now. I don't know if it's real, but out of the fact there's 7 billion people in this world, it probably is. There was a girl who said, "My uncle touched my cookie," and the teacher was like, "Okay, tell him to get his own," you know what I mean? And then a couple weeks later, the mom came in and was just talking to her while she picked up her daughter, and mentioned her daughter has a rash on her cookie, and the teacher's like, on her what? She's like, well, you know that area, and then the teacher's like, oh, we have a problem.
Wow.
So I went a couple extra weeks before it got handled because the mom taught the daughter to say cookie instead of what she should have been saying.
Right.
So,
Oh, you couldn't make it back in time?
No. I'm in the middle of farming my wood.
That's because your wood's so close together.
Yeah, well, it's that way on purpose. I'm gonna get a stupid amount of wood from this. See, I don't have to constantly collect wood this way. I just do it every once in a while, and I come away with
You know how much
as
wood I
much
have
as-
built up already? I haven't needed to collect wood for a long time.
fair. My way's quicker.
I already have my way, so I don't care.
Casey, are you gonna watch the Wheel of Time since we've talked about it so much? You might as well figure
He-
out what we're talking
I would
about.
say he better.
I mean, when is it coming out for what?
November.
November 19th.
Yeah. 19th. On
And-
Amazon Prime, which I'm imagining you probably have.
Yeah, I do.
Everyone has it.
When does Lord of the Rings come out?
Not until next year.
Oh, okay.
And you see that Disney gave up rights for Chronicles of Narnia?
They did
Did they?
what? To who?
Netflix.
Really?
Oh, I don't want Netflix. Netflix cancels shows halfway through because it starts costing too much money.
Yeah.
But it's apparently going to be a full reboot, so...
I don't know how I feel about that.
What do you mean you don't
Like
know how you feel
those
about it?
movies are actually pretty good.
Well, yeah, because Disney was trying to get its own Harry Potter series. Like, that's why they did them like that, was because they wanted it to be as big as Harry Potter.
I mean, didn't they basically stop at the same place the BBC stopped when they made the movies?
No. The
The
Disney
B-
version did
BBC
not do the silver chair.
Oh, I forgot they did Silverchair. Yeah.
I own that whole series, so, yeah.
So what we're gonna end up with is the first 3 or 4 books again.
Well, no, some people are thinking they're trying to persuade them to actually do it in chronological order and not publishing order.
Oh. Fine. We'll end up. Oh, that means we'll get Horse and His Boy.
That means we'll get Magician's Nephew, then it would go Chronicles of Narnia, then it would go Horse and His Boy as a
Yeah.
midquill or a midquill.
Yeah.
Like it's it's a sequel, but it's
Or
in the
you know what
middle.
they could do is actually put it chronologically where it goes.
Okay, yeah, they could.
There'll still be a little bit of a time skip because they're supposed to be like young adults in that movie.
Only problem is it's Netflix, so I don't have any faith in it at all.
Listen, they did The Witcher, okay? They can do fantasy.
They've done 1 season of The Witcher on the way to 2. Doesn't mean they can do a good job. Look what they did to Shannara Chronicles.
Yeah, but
Started out well, then they canceled it, and then it didn't finish it. It didn't go well, actually. It didn't. I liked it. Nobody else did.
I was okay with it.
Yeah, you're okay with it. Not okay. And then look what they did to, let's see, what else? The only shows they've started and then not finished because they have to pay people more money and stuff like that.
I mean, it is a lot. Yeah, I know.
Like they don't have the drive. They basically, it's cheaper to do a couple seasons, get people hooked on a couple seasons, and then make a new show than it is to keep going the way
Right.
they've been doing things.
Well,
And
that's
I
because
don't like-
actors usually like to take more money when a show does well.
Of course they do. When the show makes more money than expected.
Yeah, so if the
But
actors...
is it actually doing more money than expected, or is it doing as well as it was supposed to? What are you doing out here? Get in here. All right.
Not everyone can have the Robert Downey Jr. contract and have it work.
What is the Robert Downing Jr. contract?
A really good contract.
So
Oh,
he got paid pittance for Iron Man 1. But
okay.
then for Iron Man 2, he renegotiated his contract to get a percentage of the movie.
Well, in all fairness, he got paid pittance for Iron Man 1 because at the time his career wasn't exactly doing great.
Correct.
He got out of prison, and
Well, right.
I do remember people complaining about about that when the trailer dropped. Like, oh, it's gonna be awful. It's him. And then
it
he was
saved
like
his
perfect for
career.
it.
Yeah, they absolutely saved his career.
Oh, it
For sure.
absolutely made his career. I would say his
Yeah.
career had not even fully started beforehand.
Well, however you want to say it, the only reason he still has a career is because of that.
But he ended up making what? How much did he make for Endgame?
No idea.
I don't know. Some stupid amount of money.
Like 200 million, 300 million? Like he got a percentage of the take.
Well, that's what. So, oh, what's his name? Tom Hanks. When the movie Forrest Gump came out, they offered him so much money. He's like, no. I want a percentage. So they gave him a small percentage, but because they gave him a small percentage, or because how well the movie did, he made absolute bank.
Right?
Interesting.
But he wanted a percentage because of how much faith he had.
And how well he did, because he got best. Didn't he get best actor for that?
On the yes, he wanted a percentage because he read the script and was like, "This is a fantastic movie." Blah blah blah.
There's my rotten flesh. Sell you. Get out of here. Alright. Time to open a bunch of nests. So many random things. Okay.
Yeah. What'd you expect at this point?
I'll just throw that in there. I think. No? Is it all in here? I think it is all in here. Yeah. Okay. Everything's watered.
No, my wife
Did I do my
earlier today.
chickens today? Yes, I did because I sold an egg.
Oh. The reason I know for a fact my wife wouldn't enjoy doing the stocking during it, so I was watching the Dusty Wheel today, and they were doing it was like 12 hours, but I skipped to the part where Nate Blitz was there, and I was watching that part or that YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Like 10 minutes in, my wife's like, "I know you're excited for this, but can we watch something else?" I'm like,
Alright, Casey, I'm ready when you are.
Alright, I will get these later then.
how do you feel about the intimate scene between Egwene and Rand?
I mean, they better not.
I'm in the bed.
So there's a scene where they're both sitting there half naked, but they also might be in the bath area of that one place where men and women bathe together.
Yeah.
That's my thought. Well, the only reason I dislike it is because they are in a. I don't care. Like, if they imply that they've been sleeping together, I don't really care. Except that in the community they live in, it's not okay.
Right.
But that's a huge part of the community they live in. Like last time people did that, they got married right away and forcibly married and by the town. It is not okay. Other parts of the world it is, but
I was gonna say there's plenty other cultures in that world that are risque enough for their TV need for sex.
right.
That
I really
they
think
need to
that
keep the prudish nature of the Two
Two
Rivers.
Rivers. Yeah, because it's a big part of Rand. Like he struggles with
That
That's the
and he's
thing
supposed to
also.
lose his virginity with what's her face?
Avinda. Avinda.
Wait, how do you say that name?
Is that how you say it?
Avienda?
Is it Avienda? I can't ever keep. I used to say Avinda, but Avihenda. Yeah, Avihenda. Jeez,
I
the
need to count how
mouthful.
many seeds I actually need. I need 3 corn and 4 tomato.
Anyway, yep. He also has 3 girlfriends, so we don't need to
Right.
add a sex scene with that with Egwene. Granted, Rand is so much better than Gawain.
Man, I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Do you mean for Egwene or just in general?
Anything's better than like she could have hooked up a Padon Fane and I'd have been more okay with it than Gawain.
I mean, I don't
Gawain
know.
starts out so well and ends so horribly. Like what he becomes is awful. His character arc was the absolute worst.
Wait, what are the 2 brothers' names?
Galad is the one who is like does always the right thing no matter who it hurts.
Oh, him. I don't like him.
He gets, but see, he gets better.
No, he gets worse.
What? He learns to find the gray area, and he changed the White Cloak, so they're no longer trying to murder every single Aes Sedai they come across.
I think the White Cloaks could just stop existing.
Don't get me wrong, they do suck. But
Like
with
seriously, the
Galad
world
as
is
leader, they'll get better. They already started to get better. I mean, they got rid of the Inquisitors. No more poking and prodding innocent people. They stopped killing. He ordered them to stop killing Aes Sedai.
yeah, only because his sister's an Aes Sedai.
No, he grew up with Aes Sedai too. He knew that they're not all.
That's true.
He straight
I
mentioned
forgot
he
about
knew that they're not all bad. There's some of them who he's like they're manipulative little bastards, but they're not all bad.
Fair.
And he gets better. Like he ends up forgiving Perrin. Like he quit seeing the he got a gray area, which is nice. Like not everything is total evil, not everything is total good. He figured it out. He got a much better character arc. Also, he's Rand's brother, and he learns that and actually isn't upset about it.
I forgot about that.
Yep. But he learns about Rand, and he's not upset about it. Like he doesn't immediately hate himself. But Gawain he started out so well, then he hates Rand for a decent reason. Then he finds out the truth, and then he still hates Rand because he's like, "What is some farmer? Why is some farmer the Dragon Reborn?" Like he literally comes very close to saying those exact words.
Yeah.
Gawain became absolute trash. He started out so well. I really liked him in the first couple of books.
I don't know that I ever
Also,
liked
he
him.
got Egwene killed too, so.
Oh yeah, he did. That is totally his fault.
Yeah.
Still have no idea what you're talking about. Like
you will one day.
Matt's kid. How do you feel about him?
Matt's kid.
Whatever. Yeah, the kid he adopts.
Oh, I like him. He also saves the day.
He also kills Bella.
No, Bella gets killed because he's riding Bella. That's not the same thing.
Still his
Bella
fault.
saved his life.
Still his fault.
No, it's not. It was the Black Aja's fault for putting them in the middle of the wasteland in the first place. Not the wasteland. Oh, what's it called? The Black Aja sent them to the. Not called the Waste. What is it called? Far up north, the part where all the Dark One fiends live.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Blight.
about. I can't remember. The Blight. There it is.
It was the Black Aja's fault. And technically, it was Fail's fault for putting him on the horse in the first place. Because Fail pretended like she had the horn and put him on the horse to go a different way.
Isn't it Fail?
It is Fail. Technically, it's Zareen.
Well, alright. I have kind of mixed feelings about Fayu. Like I like her, but then there's moments where I'm like, what's wrong with you?
I like her, but I have the same thing. I have the same problem with Perrin.
Okay,
There's
well,
moments where I'm like, Perrin, just shut up, man. Ooh, boo hoo. I went from a poor blacksmith to basically a king, and I'm gonna cry about it. Like
yeah,
even Fail's husband or dad was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "It takes a fool to lose status and the lose status. It takes a bigger fool to be upset when they gain status." Like he even told Perrin, like, "Hey man, you're kind of an idiot." Actually, he does become a king technically, if I'm going to be honest.
yeah, pretty much.
I mean, his wife becomes queen, so that would make him by default king.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that does happen.
So, no,
Um,
so there's moments where he's complaining about his blah blah, blah and I get a little bit annoyed. And I
oh,
get
dang
how
it.
he doesn't want his best
Seed.
friend or his old mentor and stuff to bow to him. I get that, but some of this is absolute complaining. And then the whole Fail gets kidnapped arc.
That I really kind of hope they make that. Honestly, I would be okay with that just being like a movie and just getting it done with.
I'd be okay if they kind of cut that whole part out.
I think it still needs to be there, but it doesn't
There-
need to be mixed
There's
in with everything
a
else.
faster and better way to get Perrin from the axe to the hammer.
Yes.
There is a
Hey,
better way and a faster way. That's like first, that's like $2.50,
yeah.
and he was
It's a
almost willing to destroy the entire world to die with Fail at the same time. That's
yeah.
what would have happened.
There's a
But
lot of character development that happens there, as he basically goes insane.
yeah, but I think there's a better way to do it, and it's a lot of effort for something that I don't think.
That's also the arc where he finally embraces the wolf.
Which once again, he's actually training with the wolf on the way back from that, not during that.
No, he trains both. Is it me or you? What happened?
That was me.
No, he trains with he does not. He uses the wolves to find them, but he does not train with the wolves. He
He
trains with
apparently
the wolves
blew
on
up
the
and
way
made
back
a pit bigger.
because they aren't able to get through that bubble. He finds that bubble in the world of dreams.
Did that terrify you that much hearing that?
Well, I was just planting new seeds.
Touche, touche.
But I just filled this. Whatever. I'm trying to think what else there is there.
Hi, TJ West.
I literally turned it on so I can watch the one commercial, so you get like that 20 cents.
Not even 20 cents.
Wait, how
Like
much do you
2.
think it actually is?
I have no idea how much it was. I guess 20 cents was probably less than that.
Probably like 2.
Probably no. It's probably a fifth of a cent per commercial. So it takes at least 5 commercials to count for 1 cent.
Well, if I back off and go back on a bunch of times, does that work?
Yes, it would.
I don't
Is
like
that
commercials.
worth the effort?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't like commercials enough to do that for you.
Nah, no worries.
I dislike commercials in general, even if I'm not actually actively watching. But I want to see what happened when someone screams. So I just think there's a better way they can do that whole situation. And
Yeah, I agree.
my problem, Fail, is her jealousy issues are what bother me with her, with Fail.
That doesn't bug me so much.
He literally wants her to grab her by the back of the neck and shake her.
Okay, that annoys me.
And that's weird.
But it's weird, but there are people like that.
Right. I don't
Can I
like
sell
it
that?
at all.
Oh, I can sell that. Nice.
And he's so not willing to do it, and he doesn't understand. Like, he does nothing wrong at all, and she's mad at him all the time. Like, it's not his fault that...
Oh, the
Okay.
googly eyes on the magma is kind of cool.
That looks hilarious.
James, I have to admit, I'm looking forward to the scene where he spanks her. Because they better make that hilarious.
Is that why you're looking forward to that scene?
Because
Stop.
it's she like basically wants him to do something like that for the longest time, and he's like embarrassed and angry that he even did it in the first place.
Well, I mean, she was smacking the crap out of him too. She deserved every moment of that.
Right. It's also part of like the Two Rivers culture. Like, all right, she's behaving like a child. This is what you do to children.
It's exactly what he did too. He treated her like a child. She doesn't realize that. She thinks she was treated like a woman. He's treated her like a child.
Exactly.
That was me again.
Casey, I happened to look over just when that was happening, so thankfully I didn't freak out. But Casey,
Listen, I'm just blowing them up when I find them.
You know, if you kill them with a sword, you get a better chance at gunpowder, right?
Yeah, you know that my sword's not powerful enough to do that yet, right?
Yeah, it is. You hit them once and you back up far enough, they don't explode.
Wrong.
Just
For these ones, you have to hit 3 times.
Yeah.
So you have to successfully do that 3 times, but the range in which they explode is longer.
Oh.
So, like, I have to run back and forth, use up my stamina, and then I'd have to find more food.
Okay.
yeah, that is the annoying part.
Yeah. Anyway, with Fail, yeah, she annoys me. Fail, I mean.
I like how you just consider it fail. That's funny.
Well, in all fairness, I feel like her character's a fail part of the time. So.
I don't know. She's a good fit for Perrin.
Only because she's willing to do the things that he's not willing to do. Personality-wise, she's a terrible fit for Perrin.
I don't know, because I like the idea of the reluctant leader.
Yeah, that's what I said. She's willing to do the things that he's not. I'm talking about the way they interact with each other is what annoys me on a personal level. But 100%, she's a great spy. I don't know what you want to call it.
Alright, I'm gonna go sleep in the bed.
But yeah, no. And then I'm 100% excited to see Min.
Ooh, it's raining.
Because Min's my favorite female.
She is pretty cool.
And there's an Enderman nearby, by the way.
Okay, I'll murder him. Alright, he's dead. You're welcome.
He didn't even
Wow. Yeah, it's because of the rain killed him.
move. Oh.
The water causes damage. That was why I heard the Enderman to start with. It was because he was taking damage.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I hate the
Min,
sound of rain.
What?
Min's my favorite of the 3.
But that rain just helped us a lot.
It did, and it still helped us. I don't have to water my plants. Oh, shoot. I don't know that I checked my chickens yesterday.
Who's your favorite of the 3, Ed?
Not the queen.
Not Elaine?
No.
He gets
You know what? I
attitude.
definitely think it's definitely Min. You're right.
Elaine's my 3rd favorite out of the 3. And she's a good queen and stuff, but there's moments where you just get a little bit frustrated with her as a person.
All right. The siege of whatever her town's name is, that whole story arc, not as bad as Camelin, yes. Not as bad as the story arc of Doom. But there's a lot of parts there that drag.
Yeah, my problem is the whole time she's pregnant, Min had a viewing, so she believes that she's gonna be perfectly fine. And
No, I like
gets
that.
kidnapped that
That's...
she's like, oh, just because I survive until I'm give birth doesn't mean I'm not gonna be in the enemy's hands while it happens. So she finally figures it out, but I'm like, just cause you're not invulnerable just because of that. Like Birgit was a good warder for her.
Yeah.
Because she kept her like, hey, you're not infallible just because you could be crippled for life, you could be kidnapped.
You know, I'm glad I know who you're talking about because you pronounce every single name differently.
Oh, Elaine, that's how you pronounce it, isn't it?
No. Elaine's fine. That one I got. Birgit?
How do you pronounce that one?
I don't know, but it's not Birgit.
Berger?
I'd have to see how it's spelled. Remember, I listened to the audiobook, so like, to me, whatever what's his face read it as is canon.
Okay.
I have a giant line of raspberry bushes now.
Yeah,
Birgit.
well, Birgit, yes.
I wasn't far off though, considering I've never read the pronunciations before.
Birgit.
Birgit.
Sounds like a
Birgit.
swear word. Birgit. Yeah, I got Casey to laugh about that.
Yep.
Um,
I mean, it's not like I would be any better if I read a book.
I mean, to be fair, it is a fantasy book that has a lot of weird names.
every name is weird. Elaine is the most normal name, and Elaine and Logan. Or
No,
Logan.
Matt. Matt is one of the most popular
Not
names in
his
the world.
actual name though. What's his actual name?
Fair, Matrim. I forget. I forget. I know it when you say it, but like, I forget. Oh yeah, that's not his actual name. All right.
Tame isn't bad.
So-
But even Amos. Aim. Hudge. I don't know how to pronounce that one at all, even looking at it. Ames? A-M-Y-S. Amy's? I just call her Amos. But
Who-
it's Ames.
I'm sorry. Who are you talking about?
Rurik's wife? Amy's?
Whose wife?
Rurik's. Something, I don't know. She's one of the AO wise women who trains Egwene.
Oh, I think it's like Rorik.
It might be Rorik, I don't know. But her name is Amy's. Amy's. I don't like. I just like calling her Amy, and just forget the I. Just forget the S's there.
I don't remember if sheep need actual grass.
I'm still waiting for corn. Come on, corn.
Did he post his video
much-
yet?
Oh,
Trying to win a reward from Nablus.
yeah.
Well, every Friday, he asks a question, and then you put in the chats the answer.
Yeah,
like-
Daniel Green does the same thing.
He'll be like, so he was like, who wants, or what character are you looking most forward to? I just put Pet on fan, and I put why, and he put he did it for a few people, but he put a little heart there. He doesn't do
Wow.
it for everybody though, so I'm really rooting to win the dang gift card.
Mm.
But he hasn't posted yet. Not surprised, he did a few hours with the Dusty Wheel, so. Actually, I've commented like 5 times, and I've gotten a heart every single time because I know what I'm talking about, and some people don't.
Fair.
It's funny watching some of the comments where people just don't know anything.
Right.
Granted, not everyone reads the books every year.
Do you read them every year?
I read them twice every year.
That's so much book reading.
I've listened to them twice.
How many times have you read them?
Never.
You've never read the books?
I read half of the first one.
Do you know how many hours of listening it is to read the whole series to listen to it twice?
Yes.
7 hours for book 1. I read book 1 in 8 hours.
Oh, it takes a long time to listen to them. I used to have a long commute. Well, even now, there are weeks that I spend hours in the car for work.
I know what that feels like.
If I get this new job and I get to work from home, I'm probably going to listen to it for hours at home.
It's also audiobooks are my go-to for chores.
I mean,
So
I
right
don't
now-
blame you for listening to it. I listened to book 1, I'm halfway through book 2. Um,
I
but
I don't have as much time for a reading anymore.
reading is so much faster.
Yeah. But
If you read
Unless
2
you,
also,
hours a day,
unless
get
you,
a
unless you
book
read
1 done in a week.
slowly.
no, I don't read slow.
He's on the computers way too much to be reading slow.
I'm what?
On computers way too much. You have to read things quickly when you're on the computer.
Yeah. Although I don't actually, my job is no longer on a computer.
Oh. My next job is also going to be exclusively, if I get it, it's going to be exclusively on computers.
What? What? So what's the new job that you're looking at?
It's at a Laura Caring, and hold on, let me tell you what it is here. I don't remember the name of the position right off the top of my head.
Well, I mean, your current job has not necessarily treated you the best.
True story.
Because
So-
weren't you trying for captain?
Yeah, but they said they're probably going to hire someone off the street who doesn't know how to do the job, so I want to be out of there before that happens.
Oh,
A
okay.
referral specialist is the name of the position. But the reason I picked that one is because my sister-in-law was like, so I answer phones and blah, 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 blah. And then she goes, Mikey doesn't answer phones. And she's like, which job do you want? I'm like, the one that doesn't answer the phone.
What?
I just receive referrals online and process them.
You don't want to answer the phones anymore?
No, I don't want to answer the phones anymore. I'm literally one stupid consumer employee away from yelling at somebody.
Well, that sounds about right.
Oh, they're so stupid.
Casey,
So tired of it.
Yep.
time.
Yeah, I know. My
Okay.
alarm went off, so I am probably going to be taking a quick break for a little bit because I have to go shoot something with the Jackson Cloud that I help out with.
What's that part of? What is that?
So the Jackson Cloud's a part of, it's kind of like our online church that we made.
Oh, it's similar.
And so it's an association with my church, but we focus on doing online content for people that are used to more of an online presence now these days.
Right.
Because, reasons. So, I'm going to be taking a break. Now, would you rather I leave this going to where you watch Psycho Ed do his thing? Or shut down for a little bit and then restart it again when I'm back?
Do we have people watching?
No, it's just the three of us.
Oh, then
I
just
think
pause it.
Psycho Ed should start doing his own thing, and we'll watch the trailer for and break it down. So that sounds like fun.
Alright.
Wait,
Well, in that case, if Ed wants to continue streaming on his channel, he might decide to do so.
Are you streaming, Ed? I don't even
No.
see you up here.
No. But,
I see you on. Oh, you're online.
yeah, at this point, we're going to take a break, and I'll hopefully be back closer to around 9. So, we'll see you guys then. And, peace out.
Did you see what the tank looks like when a male channels?
No, I've only watched it once.
So you can, if you slow down when Logain goes to channel, you'll see the tank coming through on his face. What is going?